Hey guys, what is up? Cat097 here, and we finally did it. We finally hit 400 subs. Or, well, I can't, let me see. Yeah, y'all can't quite see it on, yeah, y'all can still see it on my screen. But yeah, like, holy crap, guys. Y'all are amazing. And what better way to, like, kind of, it was coincidental slash, I don't know the word. I can't say the word correctly right now. Commemoration. There we go. Of hitting 400 is I saw the new My Hero Academia movie today. The Two Heroes. And if you can't tell, I got the shirt that they had in the theater. And, well, yeah. Thank you guys so much for, even paying attention to someone like me. Or, well, I guess, I don't know if it's really paying attention, or, I guess watching my content, I guess? I don't know. I never thought I would get this far. I know I said that in the 300 video, but I mean, 300. Hold the line! But, I never thought I would get this far. I really didn't. I mean, I just got back from the theater, like, 10 minutes ago. Because I took my younger sister with me because she was promised that by, people who will not be mentioned. Rather loopy people. That they were gonna get her tickets so she could go and see it. That person never got her said ticket, so I'm like, I'm gonna be the cool sister now. So I got a ticket for me and her, and we went and saw it tonight. And yeah, it was great. Great movie. I loved it. The ending was a little like, of course, that had to happen kind of thing, you know. I really want to say thank you guys. I really do appreciate you guys helping me out. Y'all are amazing. Me and my reptiles, thank you. And then my cats. Or, well, cat. I mean, I'm taking care of one other cat, but I guess cats then. But yeah. Where are you, Midnight? Midnight! Come here! Oh, hi, Marley. Come here! Come on. Want to say hi? There you go. Atta boy. You're such a big boy. Yes. Do you want to say hi to the fans? Want to say hi? Nah, he didn't really feel like it. He'll usually just rub on the mic and be all like purring and all that stuff. Do you want to say hi? No, he wants head pats. You're such a sweetheart. Yes. My sweet fluffy boy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And from here on, spoilers. If you don't, I appreciate y'all for watching my videos so far. But now I'm gonna be talking about the movie. And so, if you don't want to know any spoilers, y'all are free to click away and watch another video. Because I gotta talk about the movie. I just saw it. Now I gotta talk about it. So, movie review! It wasn't like, the movie, the first movie was amazing. The second movie, just as amazing. It was a little bit not as great, or well, actually, it might have been better than the first one. It starts off with the League of Villains stealing a vehicle and driving to somewhere, we don't know where, or someplace that we don't know where, and they were stopped. Like, you see a couple of heroes taking them down and whatnot, and Twice was he had them he had mud substitutes, and so Endeavor stopped them and practically almost melted the vehicle. But so the clones that couldn't handle the pressure just melted away. And you see before he had even melted the vehicle, you see someone inside a container. His name is Nine, which if you've watched the trailers, you know who he is. So you see that he has gotten out, and you just see him looking at the city, or whatever. I'm not very good at putting things into words, so I'll try to make it a short description / review, I guess. Midnight, you want to say hi now? Want to say hi? There, he said hi. Marley, do you want to say hi too? Marley, where are you? Oh, there you are. You're in a spot where you can't get onto the chair. Poor thing. But, so you see you see everybody from UA, or well, not everybody from UA, like Class 1A, helping out on an island. And they're basically doing, like, like, not very heroic acts. They're more like they're doing favors, I guess. Not really hero work, but more favor-like stuff. Like, from having Kaminari to charging up a tractor's battery, or, people keeping, what's his face? The guy with the tape in his elbows. Can't really remember names at the moment. Keeping them from going near sharp rocked areas over on the beach, along with let's see, octopus guy. He was also helping out with, being, I guess, a lifeguard. And poor Sugar Rush, he went out, or there was a little kid that was drowning, so Froppy also jumped in to help out. And Sugar Rush, was all hyped on sugar, and he was rowing out into the water to get the kid. By the time he got there, he picked up the kid, and he looks all demented. And so the kid's just like, terrified of his face, because it just looks like a muscle man that looks like, and, so basically, they're just doing menial, I can't think of the right word for it. There's a word, but it starts with an M. Simple tasks. And then all of a sudden they get like a call about a lost kid. And so Midoriya goes out to find said kid. And ULTRAAAA goes out as well, and Earphone Jack. Those three go out to look for the kid. And, the way they do it is like they make Midoriya, or Ochako makes Midoriya lighter, and then puts a little those life tubes around him. And so she makes herself and Earphone Jack float, and he just zooms off while they're holding on. And so they get to, Midoriya is looking for the kid, and he finds a little boy over at this playground. And the kid's like, "Oh, you found me," or "What's your name?" or something like that. And the sister just busts out going, "You're late! How long does it take for a hero to find a kid? It took you over like 1 hour." Or whatever. Midoriya's just getting his ego blown. He's just like, he's like, I'm sorry. He's apologizing to the kid, like he normally does. It kind of like felt like a Coda situation, because the sister doesn't really like heroes. So she's always testing them, or like teasing them, I guess. She was teasing them whenever they were there on the island, or the UA students, and making false calls of like hero or kids needing help, or like a hero, or the lost kid was supposed to be her brother, and she was like doing a thing like saying like, "Oh, villain showed up," or she had her brother go out and say that to them. So Bakugo not doing anything all day, just sitting there, because he wanted to wait for a villain to show up. So the brother says like, a villain showed up. He's like, "Where?" And just shoves Midoriya's face out of the way. So they go out and they see a weird bug villain-like character. And so Bakugo's immediate thing is to stun him. And he notices that the bug villain wasn't affected. Why am I hearing weird static noise or something? I don't know. But he does his stun flash or whatever, and notices that the villain isn't affected. But he also notices that there's no shadow. It was an illusion, and it's the little girl's quirk, the older sister. She can make illusions, while the brother, who happens to have the exact quirk that the villain in this movie needs, like cell activation or whatever. And so the little brother is not exactly, the kind that's meant for hero work. He's more meant for like healing or doctor work. That's the other thing I should have mentioned, is that the villain of the movie was looking for a quirk to help him from deteriorating because of all the quirks he had, because the doctor put in like a whole bunch of quirks. He's like, you can hold 8 quirks, but you can use 9, which 9 I'm assuming is referring to his own personal quirk, while the 8 are the ones that he implanted into him. And that little kid, or originally the villain went after his dad because his dad also had the cell activation quirk, but only worked on or like blood type B's or blood type A's, and the son can only work on blood type A, because the father could do blood type B cell activation, the son can do blood type A activation, or something like that, or it's the reverse. I don't remember. So the villain's already heading to the island of Naboo to hunt down the kid. And once they get there, the villains show up. There's this really big wolf-looking guy, or chimera-looking guy, actually, because that's his name, is Chimera, and he looks like a chimera. He's got like a crocodilian-like tail, bird-like feet and hands, and some sort of weird, I don't know if it's dreadlocks or something. I don't know what they are. Things in the back of his head. And he's like super strong. And he can breathe fire. So he's like some sort of weird chimera. Marley? Marley? Hello, Midnight. So, and then there's also this ninja looking dude called Mummy, which is he can wrap people up like a mummy and can then control their clothes, or he can fully control inanimate objects that he wraps. And then there's a girl called Slice who, like, she shoots like needles out of her hair or something and then can make blades out of them. It's kind of weird quirk. And then there's one other, I think, or no? Yeah, that was it. So they attacked the island. Midoriya and Bakugo at first didn't believe him because the kids said that there was a villain, that sort of thing. And he's like, you picked the wrong hero to trick, lecturing the kids or whatever. Midoriya's just like, hold on, just trying to stop him. And he's like, get out of my way! I told you not to tell me what to do. Midoriya's just holding him back, and the kids run off. So when the older sister called saying that there's villains attacking, Bakugo didn't believe her. So Midoriya just yanks the phone out of Bakugo's hand, and she's like, what? Where are you? What happened? Or whatever. And she's like trying to say villains are attacking the harbor or whatever, and just cuts off. He looks over at Bakugo. He's like, what did she say? And so he immediately rushes out to save them. And basically Midoriya and Bakugo get their asses kicked by this guy. At 20%, he couldn't do anything against the guy. He just used like some sort of shields and then air pressure like attacks to fling Midoriya like he was a ragdoll. And so he and Bakugo are just beaten to a bloody pulp. Broken bones. Midoriya got like as if shot by air, like in 2 spots. So he and Bakugo were like out of commission for a little bit, until the kid was able to use his quirk to basically revive Bakugo and Midoriya, who I guess were the exact same blood types. But they were revived and they were even better. Or Midoriya was saying like, I feel even better now thanks to you. And so they do their plan to like stop the villain, because the kid came up to the other class members. Were like, hey, he's after me. Like, he said he would steal my quirk. Because I guess All for One gave him a quirk that can steal quirks. And, you good boy. So they make a plan to stop him at this, like, certain, or separate the other villains from the main guy, so that, you know, broken off into separate teams. Yami take on the Tokoyami and Ashido take on the chick Slice, and then the tentacle guy, I think, or no, they're in the back with. It was Todoroki, um, and then Kirishima, and one other guy, or a couple of other people. They were taking on the Chimera dude, and Yayorozu, Aoyama, and yeah, they stopped or they basically caused the whole separation of the whole villain group. So yeah, everybody has their own separate battles, and then there's a few people at the very back, which is the tail guy. I can't remember names very well. I'm remembering as many names as I can, but it's kind of hard at the moment because I'm all hyped from the movie. They separate everybody. Each group takes on their villain, and basically everybody's beaten to a pulp, but they still stop the villain. Tokoyami kind of lost control of Dark Shadow for a little bit because Ashido got hit pretty hard by the Slice chick, and was even stabbed a couple of times with her needles in the leg, and so she fell over and kind of hit her head pretty hard on some rocks. So Tokoyami's just like, "How dare you!" and loses control for a short bit. You do a good boy. Yes. Yes. And so they fight, and then Midoriya and Bakugo, or the big guy, the main bad guy, shows up. And so Midoriya immediately jumps out into the battlefield. Or no, Bakugo jumps out into the battlefield first, and then Midoriya follows in after, and they start taking on 9. And things aren't going all that great at first. They're holding him off, but then, you know, once the villain, you know, he overused his quirk, so he's like in agony. And so Midoriya's like, "Hey, we'll attack him in waves." And he's like, "Yeah, or whatever." So they're attacking him, beating him up, and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, the villain just starts losing his cool. Just slaps him away, basically, with his power. Or smacks him into a wall, or does something and knock him out for like a solid minute. And he goes after the girl and her brother. The brother, I think his name was Katsuma, and I can't remember the sister's name now. Hiccups, hello. He grabs the younger sister by the neck and just is almost strangling her. He looks over at the brother, he's like, "Come to me, give me your quirk, or she dies." And she's like yelling, everybody's yelling at him to run, except for Midoriya and Bakugo because they're out cold. And the kid remembers stuff that Midoriya was saying, and he's like, "No, I'll stop you from hurting my sister, or give her back." Runs in, you know, to stop him, and just as the guy's about to steal the kid's quirk, because he throws his sister off, and then goes after the kid to steal his quirk, and Midoriya just immediately kicks him in the face and just knocks him off his feet. And he's like, "How are you still alive? I used your lightning, or I used my lightning," because the dude can control the weather too, apparently. He's like, "You've already used that attack, so this time we use someone as a lightning rod." And guess who that lightning rod was? Yay! Freaking Kaminari, poor guy. He's just standing there with his hand up in the air like, "Hey!" Because he basically just got struck by a whole lot of lightning. And so they start fighting 9 again, and 9 is like really lost his cool at this point, so he has these weird Bane-like things, because like, you know how Bane has those weird injectors on his back? Well, this guy also had it. And so they inject the stuff, and his quirk starts going all like enhanced, I guess. So he creates like a weird, like horrible vortex of terrible weather and a fire tornado even. And he's like, Bakugo's just like, "He really can't control the weather, huh?" Or whatever. And so big fight ensues. Bakugo and Midoriya are getting their asses whooped. The dude also has an ability where these 2 weird bone dragon things, like Shadow, kind of like Dark Shadow, just come out of his back and just grabs him onto them and pins him, and then slams him into a wall. And they're just like they're starting to crunch down on them a little, and the kids like yell at them to not give up. So in that moment, Midoriya is just like, there is something we can do, that, or it's like something only we can do for however long a time. And so Midoriya reaches out his hand. He's like, Baku or Kachan, and Midoriya, remember, you hear All Might's voice in the back of Midoriya's head going, I can transfer my quirk or whatever. And the transfer of quirks is what One for All can do, or One for All, yeah. And Bakugo is like, kind of all like, dang it, we have to resort to this kind of look, or like, I don't want to do this kind of thing, but I have to. So he reaches out and yells Deku, and they actually, do the grab hands thing that, anime rivals normally do, or shonen rivals do. And Bakugo had like an exposed cut on his finger, and so did Midoriya, so, blood exchange, I guess. And so in that moment, just everything starts getting obliterated, and you see Midoriya at 100% One for All, and then Bakugo at 100% One for All, and it's like, oh shit! Sorry, man, I scared you. So they, they kind of look like Super Saiyans too. Like, their rivalry is just like how Vegeta and Goku's rivalry is, and Sasuke and Naruto's rivalry is combined. It's like the two separate rivals combined into one sort of thing. And so they literally, they actually fight awesomely together. And Bakugo's quirk is like magnified by like tenfold. He's literally, he started melting into a rock. Like, he got his hand and started melting it, and just launched it at 9, and he gets slammed by or he used his force fields to stop it, but you see it just melting along the shield. And then Midoriya comes in, and they start, beating the shit out of this guy. And, like, when they first revealed the fact that they both have One for All, they literally do a Detroit smash into the storm, and the storm just gets obliterated out of the sky. He's like, how? What did you do? Just, you see Bakugo's arm all purple like Midoriya's would be after he used a 100% attack. And Midoriya's also like, ugh. So Midoriya's already sabotaged both his arms, so he has to use his legs at this point. And so he's like, let's go, Kachan. And he's like, shut up, or don't tell me what to do, or yeah, or something like that. So they run up and start, just doing their attacks, and Bakugo melting the rock and launching it. And so the final attack, or the music that cues on, like, you don't hear any fighting sounds, you just hear the music. The music was great. I loved it. Awesome. And so the fight, you see the villain just getting his can kicked. And Midoriya, seeing as how he transferred One for All to Bakugo, they both go, this is our, Midoriya's like, this is my last One for All attack, something having to do with the last embers of One for All. They just basically Detroit smash him again. Like, Midoriya kicks him into the water, and then Bakugo just melts the whole place, or singes. Just, you see like a pouring of explosions, I guess, or lava, because that's kind of what it looked like, onto where the guy was, and just explosions. And so you see everybody getting saved by the different heroes and whatever, because in the beginning, whenever the villains started attacking the islands, the Chimera guy took out the communications tower. So Yaoyorozu sent out a drone to go send for help. And so the other heroes finally arrived. Because, like, they're the only heroes on the island, was Class 1A. There wasn't any actual, like, pro heroes there. And, so the military and heroes, they're all there saving everybody, or recovering them from injuries. And, you see All For One, or, not All For One, geez, All Might's there, like with Bakugo and Midoriya. Midoriya wakes up and you just see his arms all bloody, or not bloody, but purple. And he's like, All Might? He's like, oh, you're awake, sort of thing. He's like, what about, where's Kacchan, or how's Kacchan? He's like, you always worry about others first. And he's like, All Might, I had to do it. He's like, what? And he looks over at Bakugo's arms. He's like, I transferred All For One to, or One For All to Bakugo. He's like, I know you wanted me to be your successor, but there was no way we could defeat this guy without 2 One For Alls. And he's like, as long, he's like, I don't care if you did it, you did it to save everybody, and that's what makes you an amazing successor. Motivational talk. And Bakugo's unconscious over there, or right next to them. And he's like, as he and Bakugo originally falling from the sky, he's like, goodbye, One For All, and thank you. And so Midoriya thinks that he's lost One For All permanently at this point. But as Midoriya loses consciousness while crying, because he thinks that he just let down All Might, you suddenly see his body light up from full cowling. And All Might's just shocked. He's like, the predecessors have done a miracle. So Midoriya is still the One For All holder. And Bakugo, like, he felt Midoriya, and he could sense One For All still being in him, I guess. And then he felt Bakugo, and he felt, I guess, because Bakugo lost consciousness before the transfer was fully completed, I guess, or fully done. Because, like, I remember, like, Midoriya, he had to have the hair at least in his body for the whole day or something like that. And I guess because Midoriya didn't exactly lose consciousness, that's how it worked or something. So some sort of plot armor to keep Midoriya as One For All, or All For One's user, or One For All user. And so Bakugo he didn't get to keep the powers for One For All. So a little bit later, you see everybody's like helping with reconstruction, and Bakugo's just like, ow, what the hell happened to my arms? And friggin', what's her face, the nurse that just kisses, I can't remember names right now, Recovery Girl, she just does a kiss, and Bakugo's just like, it's like trying to hold back, I guess, his rage against the old lady, or his pride, I guess. And because Bakugo completely forgot that or didn't even remember using One For All. So, plot armor to keep, the protag the same. The movie was great. It really was. And you see, like, as the class is leaving the island to go back home, they're all on a cruise ship. Everybody's like, bye. Or none of them even really, they don't say goodbye to the islanders because they didn't want to be in the way of the reconstruction of the city, because it was pretty destroyed, thanks to Nine. And so the little girl and her brother show up, and they're like, thank you, and all that. And the brother's like, I want to be as cool as you and Kacchan, or Bakugo. And Midoriya's like, you can be a hero too. And the kid's all happy, and Bakugo's just like, you better remember what you said, kid, to the little kid, because he's like, I want to be as cool as Midoriya and as cool as you and Bakugo. He actually smirked to the kid, and so it's like character development for Bakugo, yay! Like, there's been a lot of character development for him lately. He's still a bit of a butt, but 2 butts. So he's had character development lately, and I wasn't all that fond of him in the beginning of the anime, but he had some fairly good reasoning at some points, because like, he didn't want Midoriya to get his hopes up just to be destroyed. It's hard to explain, It's like, he already knows Midoriya is going to be let down if with, whenever this whole anime started, was because Midori was quirkless. He knew Midori was just going to be let down anyway, so I guess he thought he'd break it to him a bit harder so he would face reality. It's kind of like tough love, I guess, or just I guess being an asshole. But he was doing it to. I don't know how to explain it, because y'all should be understand what I'm saying. I mean, if you don't, I apologize. I'm not very good at explaining my words. But so he's had a lot of character development, and I'm starting to like him more. It's like just whenever I watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged, that made me love Vegeta even more, because it's just like, this explains a lot. Because, I mean, I can actually see this being the reason why Vegeta's such an asshole sometimes, or certain things, I guess. It's like, you love, it's like a love-hate thing with characters, but I love Vegeta, he's great. But, yeah, and that was basically the end of the movie. I stuck around for the end credits just to see if there would be any hidden scenes, kind of like how Marvel does their movies. And no ending credit, or no scene at the very end of the credits, but I mean, movie, 10 out of 10. I loved it. It was great. I'm tired. Yeah, that's I guess my quick summary of the movie. I'm not very good at describing things, so I hope y'all could bear with my brief and horrible description of the movie. I loved it, and if you guys go and see it at theaters or buy it on whatever website, like Amazon or Verve or whatever the heck, Funimation, it's a definite recommend for me. I think y'all would love it, because I loved it. If you don't watch My Hero Academia, then that's fine. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for the 400 subs. And, yeah. I will see you all in the next video. And, again, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Bye! Hey!